Sometimes when you're talking in English, you want to express the vibe of 要记得哦 in English. Now, you might want to say the word remember, which is totally fine. You can say that. But there is another phrase that we use in this situation that's used by native speakers all the time, and that's keep in mind. One situation where you're going to hear this phrase all the time is when people want feedback on something that they're working on. And they're kind of directing you on what part of their work they want feedback on. Let's take a look at a situation where there's this lady that wrote an essay and she wants feedback on what she wrote. Hey, Bill, could you look at this essay that I'm working on real quick? Now, keep in mind, it's just a rough draft, so there's going to be a lot of spelling mistakes. But I just want you to see, like, the points that I'm making and see if it makes sense. So right here, she said, keep in mind, it's a rough draft. And so by saying that, she's saying, yeah, I know there's a lot of spelling mistakes and, maybe some grammar mistakes as well, but that's not important. I'm going to fix that later. What I want you to give me feedback on is whether or not what I wrote makes sense, if it's good. The next situation that I want to talk about is when you want to remind somebody of something. They've probably already been reminded before or they already know it, but you're just double checking. Like in this situation where a dad is reminding his son not to eat all the cookies. How many cookies have you had? One. This is my first one. Okay, I was just double checking. Just keep in mind, you're not the only person here that wants cookies, so don't eat all of them. So right here, we can tell that the dad's probably already told his son, don't go and eat all the cookies. So he's just double checking. He's just saying, just keep in mind, you're not the only one here that wants to eat cookies, so don't go and eat all of them. So when it comes to using this phrase, it can be used when you want feedback on something, but you don't want feedback on a certain part of that thing. Like when I said, just keep in mind, it's a rough draft, so there's going to be a lot of spelling mistakes. So right here, I'm saying there's going to be a lot of spelling mistakes. I don't want you to focus on that part. I want you to focus on a different part. Or it can be when you're just reminding somebody not to do something. Like when the parent said, keep in mind, you're not the only one that wants to eat cookies here, so don't go and eat all the cookies. And in either one of these situations, you can replace keep in mind with just remember. And that's how we'll express the vibe of 记得哦 in these kinds of situations.
如果你喜欢我的影片，你可以在下面的链接留下你的 email， 有新的影片我就会寄给你哦。